What's happening? It's Contrast Uncut. It's season 4, episode 33. Man, big shout outs to Uncle Snoops Army and Bobby D Presents. I appreciate you, brothers. It's your host, Zylo, aka DJ Juan Dollars like I won some money. Ladies and gentlemen, today we got one of them really incredibly dope special guests. He really understands organic. You understand me? It goes from the food to the soil to the roots. And it all comes back when you touch in with this brother right here. This brother's from the city, San Francisco, California. He's 1/3 of the Bay Area sensation group Fully Loaded and proud owner and chef at Vegan Mob, where soul food and barbecue meet under the plant-based umbrella and make feast upon feast. Eating healthy, eating right. It's about time you treat yourself and don't cheat yourself. And if you ain't know, Snoop Dogg is a vegan too. You understand me, Uncle Snoop?
Shout out Uncle Snoop.
You hear me? They are a premier restaurant in Oakland and quickly became a household name. Be legit, put me up on your shit, bro. Keep 100. Doing an interview with him, the season 3 premiere, and I was like, man, what made you turn vegan? He was like Donald Trump.
What?
On everything. And so I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, man, be more shit like Donald Trump. He was like, man, if he controlling the shit like this, I don't know what this world gonna be like. So let me get my family right. We gotta eat right. We gotta be ready for everything coming, moving, and possible.
Right.
And you know, this brother's as an artist has some classic mob hits, working with some of my favorite artists, from Mob in Peace to Jack, to Thiz in Peace, Mac Dre, to Burner, to his contributions on 17 Reasons, to Drought Season. I mean, this brother's been a part of some real history. Just like the new adventure, right now he's making history. And if you don't know who I got on the show by now, it's all good. We got the brilliant mind behind Vegan Mob, Don Toriano. And also known as, Mr. Notorious, Mr., Young No. How you doing, brother?
The mob, what's going on, baby? What's going on, man? Appreciate you guys having me on the show. It's a blessing, man. Shout out Beeler. Shout out Snoop. You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful, man.
Hell yeah, no, for real, man.
Dallas.
Bruh, time's the most finite thing we have on this earth, so I gotta let you know from the jump. I appreciate your time fucking with us, fucking with the viewers, the listeners, and, being transparent and open with us, bro. I appreciate that.
It's all good.
Hell yeah, bro. Speaking of time, what's the normal 24 for you, bro?
Shit, man,
What it take?
Man, I'm up at 6, and I'm sleep at 1, 12 in the morning.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying? I'm working. I'm taking
19-hour days.
Yeah, I'm taking care of my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on expanding. I got different businesses going on. It's just all about, this is the beginning. You feel me? And I got kids. I got a wife. So after I run here, I'm taking care of my family. Then when they go to sleep, I'm either back to the business or I'm back brainstorming.
Hell yeah. I feel you, bro. Shit, make sure I salute you now for being a dedicated father, a dedicated husband. That ain't easy, bro. People don't understand it's not easy.
It ain't.
Come on,
easy.
you manifest greatness. That's a triple time job.
Yes, sir.
But it's the greatest reward. It's the greatest blessing. You
is.
can never replace your family, and that's the biggest thing people always gotta understand.
That's real talk.
So, bro, I got a quote for you. Let me know if this quote relates to you, or if it doesn't. I sort of go on my gut when I pick this shit. So, let me know. The food you eat can be either the safest and most powerful form of medicine, or the slowest form of poison.
That's real talk.
And Wigmore.
That's real talk. We got the what we got? So that water right there, right? This Kangen water, right? Alkaline water, alkalate. You know what I'm saying? Actually, getting one of these machines in here, and I'm gonna do all my washing and all my washing my fruits and my dishes and selling the water. This is almost like a medicated water. And so you kind of hit it on the nose. Like, I don't want to drink no other water than this type of water because it's gonna keep me on point. And same thing with food. If you eating terrible food, like if I'm eating something that ain't right, I'm in trouble for the day. I can feel it. So you guys see, I got my smoothie.
Come on. Every morning.
Yep.
No, because it's so important. Like something as simple as water. People may dismiss it, think it's okay to drink it out the sink, be at practice and drink it out the little, horse thing. You feel me? But They don't realize that all you doing is really wearing down your shit. You're getting all this lead, you're getting all this other shit in your body that's not cool. Then you go into the food portion of things, everything's processed, everything's rushed, everything's, you know, the whole idea about fast food is that they got fucked up is it's fastly fucking up your body in a slow process.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, by treating yourself and not cheating yourself, it may cost a little bit more, but what's the price of living longer?
Man, that's a question I ask myself all the time. When I'm fucking up, I'm like, you know, this go cost me more. Like, I much rather pay for the healthy shit, you know what I'm saying, the organic stuff and the juices and all that. I don't care about saving no dollars. I'd rather save my life. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, what's some money you can't spend while you gone?
Yeah, right.
I mean, you could throw it in the coffin, but I'd rather you spend it on a service or spend it on yourself. You understand me?
Right.
And eat well, live longer.
Right, real talk.
And you know that's something I do got to give you your flowers for, brother, because it's not too many people really putting the emphasis on soul food and barbecue, and then putting the healthy way on it.
Right,
you know, you got people trying to slap barbecue plates out of people's hands, thinking that's the right way to go. Versus saying, hey, brother, you want that same food, you just got to have it made right.
Yeah, right. And I feel you on that, because I've never been a fan of that. You know what I'm saying? If we represent veganism, you supposed to represent health and love, and I don't think slapping it out of somebody's hand is the proper way to go about it. You know what I mean? Somebody else, that ain't nobody gonna listen to that. Somebody gonna want to slap something out your hand. You know what I'm saying? But if you come at them with a proper approach, you get more bees with the honey. You know what I'm saying? So, I've never been one of those, like, I'm not aggressive like that. You know, I never been for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I never thought that it was gonna help change anything. We here to change. Let's go about it the right way. You know?
Grassrooted.
Right.
Now, bro, speaking about the industry, and you know, you've been able to take the industry and understand how it works and to apply it to, man, I'm this tired, I'm this fatigued, what am I doing? You started really breaking into why are you moving the way you're moving and how can you get more out your body? You got into this food field. And so it's like, you know, I feel like all of that's a game for you, and I want to know if the game chose you or did you choose the game?
Shit, I'm gonna say the game chose me. And it's a way, and I'm gonna tell you why. It could be a balance, but my body started talking to me, right? And then I just started going that way because, I mean, just like anybody else, I like fried chicken, I like barbecue, like with meat, you know what I mean? I like, you know what I'm saying? And so, but just for me to want to live, like my body starts talking to me, like, hey, this ain't cool for you, and I would have to say it chose me. It had to chose me because I grew up on all that shit. You know what I mean? And like I said, I love to eat it, but it just ain't gonna keep me alive. You know.
So well, you know, what's hella interesting to me is when I had Big Rich on the show. He broke down, you know, the environment that he was in, you know, in Fillmore, and then having everybody surrounding him and working off his karaoke box. And then, you know, you got JT the Bigger Figure around the corner taking all the work that he did on his karaoke machine and selling the tapes that they made, and he was pretty much taking the artist.
Right.
And so, you know, it's a funny little, like, unorthodox history if people don't know, you know, how the city worked and how much it manifested greatness into this sound, you know. So I wanted to know, like, what was your history into your confirmation into getting into music from the beginning?
Shoot, my history with the music was like, you know, it derived from the JT the Bigger Figure and all of that type of stuff, you know what I mean? So I wasn't working with Fig like everybody else as a young artist. I was working with a whole, like, somebody that wasn't even from the hood, but he was family. And so I was doing stuff on karaoke at my boy house. Dunce, shout out to Dunce. He was a producer from back in the day. We were really young. I was like 14 years old, you know. And then I started to hit the lab with the cat that's like family to me. Actually, like a brother to my cousin who was just coming back here. And so I was about 16, 15. I was playing him on my stuff from a tape. And I basically negotiated a deal with him for him to put my album out at a really young age. You know what I'm saying? And so it's all this shit kind of always been in my spirit. Like, and then from there, I started going to rap with Big Rich down at his house in a desk over the. By that time, he had like a 4-track machine. I believe it was like 4-track, 8-track, you know, and they was looking at me because I had an album, you know, I had an album out, and Big Rich was like 2 years younger than me, and so then we started doing stuff over there, and then that kind of like burst Fully Loaded.
So when did, because Sam Quinn's already over there, so I was going to say, when did Bailey come into the picture?
Also, Quinn, well, it's like this. So how Bailey came into the picture is, my mom was doing promotion and management for Quinn and Mess's album. Yeah, and so...
then that's the nostalgic mess.
Yeah.
You understand me?
You know what I mean? And so Quinn would be in my house, you know what I'm saying? And Quinn, we from the same hood, you know what I'm saying? Big Rich from a different part of Fillmore. Me and Quinn from, we from Central Street, the Visadero, you know? And so Quinn would tell me, I need you to be... I want you, we gonna do some Fillmore shit, but it's gonna be like the Wu-Tang, but it's gonna be like Fillmore shit, right? And he was like, man, I'm afraid. He like, y'all got me afraid for my job right now. He was telling my mama that. He was like, man, he vicious. And so, Bailey, Quinn's little brother, and so he was telling me, you need to team up with Bay. And so I started getting Bailey. Bailey was hella into basketball though. And so then I started going to Rich House. I was teaming up with Bay, and then I brought Rich in. And then that's how we became Fully Loaded. So I kind of quarterbacked the whole group. My boy Delvin, shout out Delvin, Cookie Monster 415, right?
Salute.
I hollered at Delvin, and I tried to do the shit again. I was like, D, I need you to put out my album. But D is my age. So I thought, D was, D had trees and shit back in the day, whatever. So I thought, way back then we was in high school, he still was doing this, you know what I'm saying? He always dealt with the tree. He always been the tree cat. Like, he always dealt with trees, you know what I'm saying? He always had a love for trees. So back then, now he's doing it on a professional level. But back then, we was hella young, and I was like, D, put us out. So D, brought us to the studio. I brought him, we met at this guy named Deon's house. And D ended up bringing his brother, Chuck, Frisco Chuck, street cred. You know what I'm saying? Who now was working with
Nick Cannon.
Shout out Chuck. Shout out Big Bro Chuck. And then Chuck,
wow, Mr. Incredible,
snatched us from Big D. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how Fully Loaded and Gun Jill came along.
Wow.
Yeah, and D still my brother, man. Like that's my brother. Like that's bro. Like
it's family.
We don't got the same father, same mother, but that's my brother for sure.
Trust me, I understand, man.
Yeah.
I understand. Sometimes blood don't make you family, so loyalty do.
All stop. We've been rocking forever, over 20 years.
Come on, shit. I got family members that won't die for me, but I got some folks that have killed for me. You understand me?
Right.
Yeah. That's something that a lot of people don't understand. There's values in that. There's values in appreciating somebody for everything they've done. Like, they can't give you the same thing you're giving them, but they give you what they can. Mm-hmm. And you'd be surprised on how much somebody will ride for you when you get into some shit blind.
For real. Yes, sir.
Shit, they get you up out of something. They say, oh, you got some value, bro. What the fuck you doing here? Go. I'm trying to ride, but no.
Right.
But shit, manifest in prayer, bro. I feel like a lot of your accomplishments came from within this mind of yours, this powerful mind of yours. Mm-hmm. From everything that you saw, you built it from your mind. You saw, okay, boom, this is working. Let me apply pressure this way. You was already looking for the next thing on how to get somewhere and become something, because a lot of people is like, if you're going to enjoy the streets, you're going to be a breaker at this point. You're going to be a DJ, or you're going to find a way to put yourself inside them speakers.
Right.
And you found a way to get yourself inside them speakers.
Right.
And then you continue that. So it's like, man, what was some of your, some of the things you remember along your journey for your manifestation of greatness?
It's funny you say that, because I really, truthfully, like, this is all God. This is all law of attraction. Like, I don't take a lot. I don't take all the credit, right? When I started this, and you saying man, and all that, like me and Beeler click on that level, like on the law of attraction level. You know what I mean? I truthfully put this in the universe. Like I really sat down and said, this is what I want. This is what I'm gonna get. I was in grad school. I had changed my life. I went to I got a BA. Then I went to grad school. I was gonna be a therapist, but it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it was me. You know what I mean? But I was just doing it for my kids and just for a change. You know what I'm saying? Change my life. It took me in a different direction.
Right. It took your focus.
It took my focus. It taught me a lot of shit too. And so
that's real.
I got into these books, Power by Rhonda Byrne, Secret by Rhonda Byrne, Think and Grow Rich, Asking and It's Given. And I read these, but I still read these books to these days. And it was just telling you, ask for it. It was telling you, keep your frequency on a certain level. It was telling you, set a goal. And this is what I did. And this restaurant came literally 6 months after I came up with the idea. Like it came like with a long line, and it hasn't stopped. Matter of fact, the traffic is doubled.
Whew. No, I know. I done read a report saying you finna open up one in San Francisco. You know where it costs to stay at, where you from, and that's dope, bro. Like, there's a report saying that it takes $120,000 a year just to live in an apartment in San Francisco.
Right.
And for someone that, to take the idea, manifest it, pop this up in 6 months, it's just like, the sky's the limit to what you can do. The Bay Area ain't cheap, period.
It ain't.
Oakland ain't cheap, period.
Right.
And especially what's going on with gentrification, being close to downtown, just that they hiking everything up, and for you to rise above and still believe in what you're doing and seeing the benefits of the fruits of your vision. You walk by faith, not by sight.
Yeah.
And you trusted that. And bro, I just gotta make sure I salute you, bro, because that's huge, bro. Because that's a lot of people don't understand making it out the hood, making it out of the gutter, and then making it where I'm putting the new paint on this gutter now.
Yeah.
That's a whole new elevation of life. That's real level up, and people can feel it, see it, and it's transparent.
Right. Real talk.
Make sure I give you your flowers, but people don't understand it's not easy. You gotta put 10,000 hours in. Sometimes it takes 10 years to do what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, people tell me that 2 years I'll see some type of they're like, all right, in 2 years you'll start to see a change and your restaurant will start to run. And it was like literally like the first day, like and I was like, okay, yeah, that's the grand opening. This is how I was telling somebody the other day. I was like, okay, that's the grand opening. All right. My cousin had passed away up there, back to Billions. Rest in peace, back to Billions. His funeral was on a Tuesday. The Tuesday after we opened, and I just called the person who was really inquiring about a job, and I was like, have you ever been a kitchen manager? And they were like, yeah. So I had this person come in to be the kitchen manager, who is still with us right now. And I got here, my wife called me on the day of the funeral. I was leaving, and I was on my way over here. She's like, you gotta hurry up and get over here. I was like, what's going on? She's like, it's crazy. She don't work here. She was in the kitchen making. I got here, it was nuts, right? It hasn't stopped. Right, it hasn't stopped. And I was like, okay, yeah, that Tuesday, it's about to be chill, we go sit and learn some things, we'll get a system in place. They didn't even give us no chance to do that. Like, we've been going hard since. Like, the system I come up with is through the storm. Like, But for my BA, I went through an accelerated program, and I always said that accelerated program was go prepare me for what I got to do.
That's real.
And I felt like this was an accelerated program because it wasn't slow. It was like everything was going so fast. I had to learn twice as fast as I would in a normal business.
See, was this your first business you opened up as a restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
So you pretty much a novice into the field, but know the game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, like the stages, people don't understand with restaurants that, one, you don't start off skyrocketed. It takes a whole bunch of marketing, promotions. It takes every door direct mail. It takes a whole bunch of discounts on your food. It takes a whole lot to get things off.
Right.
And for you to have that and be able to be prepared for it, because see, the key thing you said is grand opening. Then you said moving forward to today, it still lines out the door.
Right.
And from that, it's a testament to you saying, you know, I need to focus in, own in onto this, and understand what I'm growing. Mm-hmm. And this is growing into something so beautiful that I need to have more employees, more food, more preparation, and you know, it makes sense why you up 19 hours a day out the week. Mm-hmm. I mean, out the day.
Yeah, exactly. So, D.
What's happening, bro? So, you know, this game is a roller coaster because that is a high. You had some incredible highs, and on top of that, that was on top of a low. Yeah. You know, what's some of the other highs and lows that you willing to discuss, you know, on this journey you've been on?
There, you know, it's been a lot of highs. I mean, a lot of media. We got into the Food and Wine magazine. Like, you don't really see a cat like me in the Food and Wine magazine. You know, that's a Napa Valley. You know what I mean? It don't smell Fillmore. You know what I'm saying? So we got in there. We tons of like front page paper stories, and just the other day I was on NBC Cali Live. It'll be airing on Monday next week, 11:30. I've been on a bunch of shows and
shit, bro, you was on Sacramento today.
Yeah,
you living in Oakland, yeah. And you know that's pretty much just an hour and a half drive, depending on what time you leave. But it tells the story of that people are going from Sacramento or typing your name so much up that they gotta have you come on the morning news to discuss it
in a whole nother area, in a whole nother region. And so yeah, that was it. And it's just been a lot of highs, and in the lows that we've had, I just look at highs too because they're all blessings. They're all lessons. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I've went through. This is my 6th general manager in 1 year.
Whew.
6. I've been through 6, and we get complaints and here and there, and what they don't know is like we back here working. Like we really putting in that work to make sure things are coming out beautifully for them. You know what I mean? Right. And so they'll never know that until they watch this. You know what I mean? It look all like it's candy outside. But I mean, there's been points where, you know, the manager wasn't fully doing their job. I jumped on the line. You know, in the beginning I was on the line. In the beginning, but when I got to handling the business, that was no longer my thing. But this ain't but like 4 or 5 months ago. It got so crazy. I pulled over with my wife and my kids in the car. Said I'll be back. Came in, knocked out 20 orders, 10 minutes. Wah, 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 wah. I said, okay, y'all caught up. Step back, watch my, got back in to my, you know what I'm saying, what you call it, apron off, and went back in the car.
Yep.
And actually did it twice in 1 day. You know what I'm saying? So, it's,
it's called a bailout.
I had to, and I showed them that I work. You know what I'm saying? But also that can bite you in the butt too, because
and enable somebody.
Yeah, they think that you supposed to.
I can call it panic.
Yeah. That's what they and that happened to me a lot the whole year, and so now they know. Now I got it to like, hey, look, this is your show. If you absolutely can't handle it, hit me up. But that's where you have to go through those issues to where I might get some bad reviews or whatever. But I have to set the boundaries, and I have to set the, you know what I'm saying, the integrity of the restaurant, and let the GM know what he has to do instead of me. Because if I do that, I'm gonna be dead. You know
So
what I mean?
you got to be an advocate for your customers, because at the end of the day, they're the ones leaving reviews. It's an old saying that one person will tell 10 people how bad the experience is, but one person will tell maybe 1-2 people how great the experience is.
Right.
And you know, you get 7-10 people with negative experiences. You got 70-100 people talking, you know, negative about your stuff.
Right.
And versus in reflection, you get your 100 people that got it. They only telling another 100 people.
Right.
And so you know, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, because then it lets you know what's real.
Right, and that's the truth, because we'll get a lot of great reviews, and when I get that one, it shakes me up, like, it, you know, it hit me harder, and I practice, like, telling these guys how good they're doing, because when I get a bad review, they hear, you know, how bad it is, you know what I mean? And so,
what's the first thing that goes to your mind when you see a bad review? Do you think training? Do you think, you know, it's like, what goes to your mind when you see them?
it's always, you know, training is probably the number one thing. Like, we need to revisit this area. And have you guys worked with the front of the house? Have you guys worked with the back of the house on this? Because this needs to not happen. And most of it is surface, you know. And so it's definitely training. Like, hey, yeah, we got to get this together. Because me, like, if I'm up there, I'm showing straight love, you know. And I need my team to know they gotta have my same type of character. You know, this is what
service.
This is what Vegan Mouth represents. We here for them. You know what I'm saying? And we doing it with a smile.
Be proud of the brand that you represent.
Right.
People forget, you know, it takes those people in that line to make that paycheck be real, where you sign that thing and got your hours on there, and you know everything else on there. You gotta remember, it's the customers out there that's paying for that.
Right. You gotta treat them. You gotta treat them right.
Facts.
Matter of fact, you working for them.
100%. 100%, bro.
You know what I mean? And I look at my customers like family too. And so I be wanting to make sure they good. Like, if I hear something that's not cool from a customer, especially one that I've seen all year, then I don't feel good about that. You know? Because I want him to know, hey, look, you might not know who you talking to, but you gotta treat everybody like family.
Right.
You know? Because a lot of these people been coming here, and the ones who ain't been coming, we want them to keep coming back.
Facts.
You know?
Facts. So, bro, from Bila to Uncle Snoop to, Big Sean to Erykah Badu, there's so many people in the game that has converted to, veganism and embraced it. Where he goes, Bila, he had his extreme, but at the same time, he kept it real and he kept his body right. For Snoop, he wanted to make sure that everyone in his family started eating right. He started to feel something wrong. His dad was getting older, so he started to emphasize on that. For you, what was your journey to crossing over to veganism? Was it a slow one? Was it just a cold turkey? Like, what was the process for you so people can understand, as they make their transitions?
So before I get into that, you mentioned Erykah Badu. So, like, probably about 6 months ago, Erykah Badu had a show out here, and her assistant called my manager, and we actually had brought Erykah Badu some food to her hotel. She ordered some food. We brought it to her. We wanted to do delivery. We drove all the way, gave her a delivery, and hooked her up.
Personalized it.
Yeah. But so shout out Erykah Badu. But for me, it was. I've always flirted with it for years. 1 year I had the flu, like 4 years ago.
Mm.
And it was that H1N1. It was going around. Remember, people were getting pneumonia and dying, almost kind of like the corona, right? It was kind of like almost like the same thing. And I got sick, and it wasn't like the regular flu. It wasn't like it was going away in like 2 days, and it was just it just kept going, and I was like, oh shit, this is crazy, right? And so I stopped. I had been also sneaking like Jack in the Box and shit because me and my wife, we like eat healthy, and she ain't going for that. So here I am sneaking Jack in the Box. I'm like, this shit gonna kill me if I keep doing this. So I was like, man, I gotta stop eating meat. And so when that flu came, I just completely stopped eating meat, cheese, and just taking like ginger and eating healthier and stuff, and that's basically how it started off. It was like, but I had been vegetarian before vegan for like 2 years, and I came back to meat. Yeah, so I knew how to do it. Like I was good at, I knew how to do it. I just had slipped one. I think Christmas, my mama brought some fish over, and then I seen my wife eat some, and I was like, well, let me get some. And then next thing you know, we're at Southern Cafe, and I'm eating chicken. Shout out, that Southern Cafe used to be my spot before that's over on in the Diamond District. That's over on MacArthur, but that used to be my spot before I went vegan. And yeah, so I just
you just put me up on something.
Yeah, so just my health, like me wanting to be healthier, and I don't get sick. I don't really get sick because I get sick if I get fatigued. Like if I'm doing too much, my body will tell me to lay down. But as far as like I've been going through flu season, so it ain't no problem.
That's real. That's real. It's important. Now, speaking of, we've been talking about food. What are your 3 favorite food items from your restaurant?
Ooh, man, it's really a hard choice because we got so much stuff on the on the menu. But I love everything. To be honest with you, like,
what's the go-to?
My go-to, man, my plate with the brisket, with the mob sauce, potato salad, some macaroni and cheese, and greens. And then I love the tacos. Like tacos go crazy. And then after the tacos, man, there's so much, man, like lumpia or the cheese rolls. Yeah, it's like my go-to is probably the go-to or the customer's go-to too. It's hella funny. Like the stuff I name, probably the most popular thing. So it makes sense, right?
Right. No, that's real. That's real. No, and speaking about the restaurant, you also get the nostalgia of the Bay Area. You give love to the Jack on the side of the building. You give love to so much of the roots of the town, and it's like and the Bay Area in whole. What are some of your memories that have influenced you to have these iconic images on the building?
Yeah, so Jack, that was Brody, man. R.I.P. to Jack. It just really kind of like I felt like our slogan, we say, it's the mob, you know what I'm saying? And if you hear Jack rap, he'll say that in his rap, he say, something, it's the mob, he'll say, it'll come out his mouth, you know what I'm saying? So that was inspired, And I've been saying mob since I was, that's the Bay Area thing, that's what we say, that's us, you feel me? We mobbing, right? But I felt really connected, like it really connected to Jack. And I felt like I needed to, every time I say that, I thought about Jack. So I was like, let me throw Jack on the side of the building and bring some energy, bring that energy here, because I just want to show love to my brother. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Yeah, that's what it was about, man, and it came out beautifully.
Yes, sir. Bro, you got a chance to work with Burner and the Jack on Drought Season on 2 different tracks, and I just can't help to ask him. One, I'm a huge fan of the Jack. Mm-hmm. And it's like, but can you see the work that he put into Burner that we see Burner today, the Billboard charting artist?
Definitely. Yeah. Huge influence of Jack. Like Burner had a huge inspiration from the Jack. He worked with him a lot, and so definitely I see that. Even down to the music. He'd be hella proud if he was around.
I also feel like if Blood was around, he would already took over the charts. Because he already had Glamorous Lifestyle peak, and he was already understanding that new wave and how his sound influenced it.
Right. Yeah, he was killing it, man. And that every time I hear his music, I get disappointed that he ain't here. You know what I'm saying? Like, for a whole year, I was mad listening to that music. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole year straight. All I would be playing is the Jack. Like that's one of my favorite artists. Even as him being, a family member. All the mob figures is family members. You know what I'm saying? We fully loaded, and the mob figures is close. You know what I mean? my figures came to Fillmore when they first started their first album. You know what I mean? And so it's a deep connection. Like AP spent part of his life in the Mo. You know what I'm saying? So we got, AP was on Dun Gill Records with us. You know what I mean? So we had it when we got nominated for best group in the Bay Area. My figures got the award. We were runner up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we looked up to them too. We loved them. You know what I'm saying? They're a little older than us, so we always loved them. And it's just a huge connection. Like just when he was gone, I was like, damn, like we ain't gonna hear no new creations like this. That's messed up. Like Jack ain't around no more. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it's crazy.
Shit, but y'all really help set the standard when it comes to so much. When you talking about the mob figures, you talking about Fully Loaded, you talking about the Bay Area, you talking about, Bald Head, SIBO coming out and putting together so many different things, and then you look at the influence on shit. I mean, besides Mob Figures Fully Loaded, the only other group was 3 Times Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The scene success. And so, it's such a limited group we talking about, and just the results and the influence. I mean, I don't think we would have a SOBRDE connected like that and putting out what they put out. Or, just trickling down the lanes of all the different influences to, I mean, you go down to Mozzie Camp and how Mozzie put on his whole avenue and putting all his people on, and that shit goes back to Livewire, and, it's all connected back. And then Livewire, Jay Stalin goes back to the mob. And
Yeah, because Jacket, the first time I heard Stalin was on Jacket album. And I remember asking him about who it was. He did a show on Hay Street in the city at Club Milk. And I was on a run at the time. I got passed, but I was on the run and I ran. I'm like, hey, where the young homie that you got on the song, who is that? He go crazy. He's like, oh, that's Stalin. He said, that's Jay Stalin. He told me, well, I think he might have been there that night. I don't remember. I think he brought him that night. If I can't remember, I'm not completely clear on that night, because around that time, I was doing a whole lot of shit.
Oh, yeah, shit become a blur, man.
Yeah, it was a blur. But I do, I remember the police came in the building, and Jack tucked me to where they was at and told me run up here, like go upstairs, and he locked the door or whatever. And and then they left, whatever. Then I hopped on the stage with him, Huss at FedEx, I believe it was. Yeah. And that was a memory right there. But I remember when Jack kind of introduced him. That's the first time I heard Stalin was on Jack. I was like, he go crazy.
And then shit, we know Stalin and his influence on the city and
Yeah,
on the Bay, period.
It all
Trickles back. It's dope. It's dope. And then, what's incredible is that I gotta make sure you understand you a part of that history too, brother. And the influence. What is one thing, I gotta spend one more question talking about vegan food, because I know I've been going back and forth, but that's the environment of when you come into this place, the culture. And you feel it, so it's just like I can't talk about this without bringing up that. Because they go hand in hand, and you are very brilliant-minded in doing that, so that when you get the feeling of both, and it gives you a sense of home, gives you a real good vibe. What's one thing people got fucked up about being vegan?
Shit, they think it's all lettuce. You know what I'm saying? Vegan, man, eating a vegan food is hella good. You know what I'm saying? We ain't no different. You just heard Snoop, Vila, me. You know what I'm saying? And so it don't make you soft to be a vegan. You know what I'm saying? And the food hella good. That's it. That's usually what I got it fucked up. But it's you see a lot of black and brown people going a plant-based lifestyle now too. So that's what I wanted to do with this. Like it made it cool to be a vegan. You got the Jack on the side of the building. You got this graffiti. I'm the owner. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and at first I was being real careful. It was my first business, So it was more conservative. I was being professional, you know. But as soon as the camera turned on, I can't.
It was the real.
I can't
Be true to
there's
yourself.
nothing I can do. I couldn't do it. Like I wasn't going. I turned on some music and the crowd started dancing. I started talking and that's what attracted people. Like they love the food, but also my personality attracted a big girl. Like people loved it. People loved the dancing and me goofing off and all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And doing my Bay Area Fillmore shit. You know what I'm saying? And I let them know I always get low. Every time I do something big, like I just on NBC Live. You know what I'm saying? At the end I got low. You know what I'm saying? So I always bring my roots into it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And that, you know, I think that has caused a big shift, you know, at least out here. It's like, okay, cool, we got some real cats that have vegan food. And it's soul food in this barbecue. You know what I mean?
Come on, not just anything.
Not just anything.
So, bro, I got 2 segments. I'm going to take a pause on the entertainment. My first segment is my awareness segment.
Okay.
And I like to ask every guest of mine, when was the last time they were pulled over and what's some advice they could give in a situation of interacting with the police?
The last time I was pulled over was going to Sacramento to that interview. And I was smashing.
Today.
And I ended up getting pulled over. And dude said I was speeding. I was speeding, but I wasn't going as fast as he said I was going. I was real cool with him. Like I explained who I was. I explained what the situation was. I was smooth, and dude ended up dropping the speed ticket by like 30 miles per hour. So it didn't even become a point or anything like that. And so I just think, like, my advice is to not be reactive. Try to be responsive. You know what I mean? Don't be comfortable at the same time. Try to be as comfortable as you could, even though it can be scary. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you black or brown. But be comfortable as you can, and because I know people feed off energy. And so for me, like, I always think that I can my mouthpiece is vicious, and with your mouthpiece, behind your mouthpiece is energy. It ain't just the words you put out, but it's how you put it out. You know what I'm saying? Right. So just do your best to have a calm, positive energy, even though it's very traumatizing and it can be scary to be pulled over. You know what I mean?
I have this second segment because, one, you know, everybody get told what to do in a situation of, you know, we about to be active, we're going to do this, but no one talks about the moment them lights come on and you get blurred. Right. And, you know, it becomes either we're going to hit the dash or we're going to let our feet do some wiggling. Right. You know, or today's day, everyone wants to argue and make it an issue. And it's like, we have to spend more focus on knowledge is power, but giving people the superpower to use it in a certain time. There's no greater time to have a superpower of knowledge when you're dealing with the punk ass police. And how to maneuver, how to smile, even if it's fake. Remember something funny in your head. Yeah. Deal with them to get through that. Don't laugh in their face, just smile. Yeah, because there's a lot of power tripping going on. You know what I mean? That's real. That's really what it is. They want to just know they in charge. You know what I'm saying? And so, hey, look. Hey, man, sorry about that. You know, hey, look, I apologize. Hey, man, could you please let me go to top? Whatever, you know. Oh, they're like, oh, I'm in charge. Well, I've been lucky to get cool. That cat was cool. Sometimes you get a dickhead, though. So, and that's tough. The time before that, I had a straight dick. He was talking like a straight dickhead the whole time. And it was triggering. Like, I wanted to say something, but I didn't. Because I wanted to get out of there. You know what I mean? Come on. And so, I just kept my composure and just let him be a dickhead. You know? And he took my chicken and bounced. You know what I'm saying? And before, like, I was one of them cats that would always argue, like, with the police are. Especially when I became legal. Like, it got worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, what the fuck wrong with you?
And my wife be like, no, no, you know what I'm saying? She was scared for my life. She was like, you can't, you know, she's like, please don't do that no more. So out of respect for her and my family, I started to change the way that I approach the situation. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And so I started to talk to them in a more, but you know, responsive and not a reactive way. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. No, bro, I appreciate you being transparent, especially during that energy, because sometimes it could be, for a lot of us, it could be PTSD talking about certain things, and other things it could be, you know what? Let's drop the knowledge. And so, no, I appreciate you, bro.
And that's where the reaction comes in, because it's PTSD. Like, I before this, I was teaching mindfulness to kids in Richmond. You know what I mean? And I learned that we got a lot of trauma that we deal with.
Come on.
And I feel like the police need to be taught that. You know what I mean? Because not everybody have the education on, you know, emotions and, you know, all that stuff. And I also, when I was in grad school, remember I was in grad school to be a therapist. So not everybody had an education on their feelings, what triggers them, and trauma and all of that. You know what I'm saying? We traumatized. You know, and you might run in this, you might be in the hood with somebody. They might not. It's not because you from the hood. Don't say you're a criminal or nothing like that. But they still hearing gunshots and shit every day. Still seeing they boy got killed by the police the other day. Somebody got beat up. That you triggering. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, but then when you trigger, when they get triggered, then that might trigger. You know what I'm saying? And so, I'm blessed to have an education on that. You know what I mean? But not everybody know that. And so you pulling somebody over that's super traumatized, they're not knowing it. And then once they go into that fight, flight, or freeze mode, and you tell them stop, 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 they don't hear you.
No, they don't comprehend it.
They're not comprehending it. And if you're talking to them crazy as fuck, that's what you gonna get.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's a scientific fact. It ain't even a choice sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And so, I'm blessed to have that knowledge. But like everybody else don't. And I feel like the police should have that. They should get taught that.
Right. Training.
They
Go back to training.
They need some psychology and some therapy classes for real.
Come on.
You know?
Shit, they need to get treated like Starbucks one time.
Right. Come on. right.
Close down for one day.
Yeah,
Close down for one day, get your shit together, and we might come back and fuck with y'all.
That's it.
But, you know, I got my next segment. It's called Impulse Q&A. I got impulse questions I wrote down earlier, so that you can give me your impulse answer. I got 3 questions I want you to answer. You don't like the question? Don't worry, I got another one for you. Just want you to answer 3 questions. You ready? Question number 1. Being that we're in the kitchen right now, you know, all the extra noise and everything, because it's real. They busy, the phone ringing. What's the funniest thing you see happen in the kitchen?
Man, me, you know, one time I think about like a couple months ago, I was back here trying to get shit together. I was making some sauce. I was shaking up the sauce. The Cajun sauce exploded all in my face. Everything all over my body. My GM at the time took a picture of me, whatever it was. I was running through here trying to hide. It was funny as fuck. I ain't gonna lie to you.
God damn! I hope you kept your eyes closed, bro. That shit.
Man, it got all in my face, everything, all in my eyes.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know it got hot sauce and all type of shit in it, man. Lemon juice. I ain't gonna give up every.
Oh yeah, all the secrets.
yeah.
Come on. This ain't the beans or whatever. How they got the commercial they always trying to give away? Oh, Bush Beans.
Yeah.
Secret ingredients. You ain't getting none of that shit. Ain't no dog over here.
None of that, baby.
Shit, bro. For me, this is my first time ever talking about the kitchen, but I went with the owner one time. It's the general manager. When the alarm goes off or someone breaking in, you get the call from security. You feel me? And so does the owner. Me and him show up at the same time. The ice dropping. He was getting ready to shoot the damn ice dropping. And the look on his face, I was like, yo, scary ass. The funniest shit ever.
Yeah.
Someone trying to be all tough with a gun and teach you everything. And as soon as the ice drop, you think it's somebody. And oh my God, that shit was comedy. Question number 2. What is one thing you hate, but you wish you loved?
One thing I hate that I wish I loved. You know, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I don't know if it's anything. Cause I don't focus on that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I don't like working out. But I love it after I do it. But I wish I loved it a little more. Cause I look at it as like a job sometimes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Shit, bro. I hate driving, but I love it at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you get to go to places and do all this other shit.
That's it, right? It's same type of shit. Like I hate it. Like the process, like to get started. I'm like, I don't want to do none of that shit. But once I'm done, like I love the results. You know.
Question number 3. You're on a 10-hour flight. Who's riding with you, dead or alive? What y'all talking about?
My wife. Yep. And you're probably talking about getting there safe.
That's right.
Future plans, family, you know, increasing our income, our living situation in the next year or 2, just goals. Yep, that's why I love my wife so much, because she the other half that I met my perfect match. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of this comes from being with her. You know what I mean? You gotta have the right person with you. You know what I'm saying? Your other half can either be your blessing or your curse.
Cool. That's real. It's like you're gonna be blessed as one, or you're gonna be cursed as a separation. I'm trying to make it work.
Or you gonna be it's gonna fuck up, because we talk about law of attraction, right? If you're not on the right frequency, you gonna fuck off what you attracting.
You're gonna block blessings.
You're gonna block blessings. And so we talk about frequency a lot. We not perfect. Like everybody, we not smiling all day and shit.
Come on.
She a human. I'm a human. You know what I'm saying? She a woman. She got some type of issues. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I gotta deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, and I'm not the easiest guy. You know what I mean? But we work it out. We make sure it's good. We know about energy. So it's very important for both of us to keep our energy right.
Whew. That's real, bro. Mm-hmm. Man, you survived my awareness segment. You survived my impulse Q&A as a reward. It's promote time, bro. The floor is yours. Whatever you want to shout out, you know, something you want to promote, whatever, brother. It's go ahead. Let them have it.
Vegan Mod, first of all, pull up on us, baby. We in the town, 500 Lake Park Avenue. We got San Jose coming soon. The next in November. We got San Jose. It'll be a pickup and delivery location, so check us out. In San Jose, it won't be a sit down or anything like that, but it'll just be a hub for deliveries and pickups. We also got the OVM coming, Official Vegan Mob Clothing.
Ooh.
That's coming out pretty soon. We're gonna start our store in the next couple weeks. November's a big month. Vegan Mob Exotics. November, we got some exotics coming up on the shelf. That's gonna be in cookies and a few other spots. What else?
It's organic.
Organic. It's organic. It's organic. And yes, I know I got a bunch of other stuff. Music, Don Toriano. Follow me, Fillmore Raise Me. Don Toriano is that's my rap page. Follow that, Fillmore Raise Me. I got music on deck. I got an album done with Rob Lowe. Did all the production. And I just did something with the mechanics, so I might just slide that song up on there as a bonus track. You know what I mean? And then me and Big Rich is talking about cooking up. And so
getting them out of retirement, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot on the menu. It's a lot on the menu, and we probably gonna bring Willie Hen in to drop a couple verses, and we gotta hit Bailey up and see what he's talking about.
Fully loaded reunion.
Fully loaded, man. You stand back. We got a lot going on. It's a lot going on, and I even just signed a cookbook deal. Right on with Penguin Random House, 10 Speed. which is a section of Penguin Random House, which is one of the biggest publishing companies in the world. So
Wow, salute,
we
brother.
working,
salute.
we working. Right on, Brody. Appreciate you.
Shoot, bro, if you notice my show is, hold on, you got anything, brother? Bro, if you notice my show is different, it's unique. You know, I got segments because they say I gotta have segments, but I don't do segments like them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how do I keep this same energy and close out? The viewer knows it's coming. I'm gonna hit you with it. You got any questions for me?
Shit, man. Where do you see yourself in your show in the next year?
Shit in the box, bro.
There you go.
That's the goal. That's the goal. That's the goal. You know, when you have a vision, sometimes you think you can do it all on your own. You got to partner with people. Sometimes those pieces don't fit to the puzzle. Those tools don't get that thing twisted the right way. And then other times you get blessed and you get pieces that make everything start moving in all directions. Yeah. And so right now I'm finally in a place where it's not only taking off, but there's actually a landing place for us and keeping that energy moving in that direction. That's that's the goal. That's what we're here to do. It's manifestation to the fullest. The law of attraction. Everything around this motherfucker keep on pointing me back. Yeah. Like it's crazy. After this, I'm headed to go see J Stop.
Man, tell him I said what's happening, man.
That's just it's crazy how I did that. I wasn't intending even talking on blood, but shout out West Oakland.
Yep. Shout out Stalin. Shout out West Oakland. Shout out the whole town. Shout out everybody. Shout out the whole Bay Area.
Yes,
shout
sir.
out the city, Fillmore. Hunters Point, Sunnydale, Lakeview, everywhere.
Come
on. What I'm saying? Everywhere. I got love for everybody. Yeah, man. I want to tell you. I want to give you your flowers too, bro. So, man, this is huge. I'm glad you're doing this. I'm glad you took that leap of faith and jumped off, and it was beautiful. And thank you for coming to see me.
100, bro. Come on, we at the vegan mob. We with the mob.
Pull
you
up on
understand
us,
me?
baby.
Come on. On that note, it's Contrast Uncut. It's season 4, episode 33. Man, big shout outs to Uncle Snoop's Army and Bobby D Presents. I wouldn't be able to do an incredibly dope shit like interview, Don Toriano. Just better letting these diamonds shine like it's food just glistering off the plate. And, the words is just going and going and going. The brother's gems is out of this world. Keeping your mind right, keeping your body right, keeping the game tight. I appreciate you, brother, coming on and fucking with me, bro. Blessings.
One love, baby. It's Don Toriano, the vegan mob boss. You tune in to Contrast Uncut. Shout out to Uncle Snoop. Shout out to Bobby D. And yo, it's the mob.
Yeah. This really remind me of some, this really reminds me of some Tribe Called Quest. Hip-hop really taught me to give it all I got left. Wu-Tang taught us how to beat their projects and tell my story over beats and it could be a project. Look how it all begun, bum skibbity bum, yeah. Grew up on that Nas, on that L, on that pun. Old soul when I was young, crisscross make them jump. Battle rapping for respect, my nigga, this ain't what you want. Can I kick it when I'm rhyming? Be a legend through Ebonics, was a sticker boy. Felt like sticky fingers played at Onyx. Can I live track 8? Feel like Jigga 96, without a reasonable doubt the album turned me into this. Shit, we always had dreams of being money making Mitch. Without jewelry on, hit a jail pose, take a flick. Feel like Pac and keep your head up. Biggie shooting juice, coach is still alive, just let me prove.